I'm Ronnie Amlegaspi, co-founder and one of the lead artists for Crazy Studio. So currently we're developing Shots Fired, which is an award-winning game. It has been showcased around the world, and we are currently finalizing the builds for Switch and Steam. Get off your comfort zone. This is one of the important factors that we did, and that's what brought us here today.
Hi, I'm Abet Dongkinko. I teach for almost 4 years now. All art subjects, basically. Almost all art subjects. So most of them foundational. So 3D subjects, 2D subjects, freehand drawing, 3D animation. So I've been teaching that for the longest time. So yeah, I always wanted to be an artist ever since I was small. The earliest memory I had of drawing was, I think I was 4 years old, and I asked my mom to draw me a rocket ship. So, and then I copied her drawing of it, and that's where it started. So I was very passionate about art. I love doing it.
My name is Maria. My IGN is Silicon Peto. Actually, kasi ever since, kahit say grade school, high school pa ako, I really love games. So I've been playing games ever since. I've always loved working in the gaming industry. And in the gaming industry kasi hindi lang naman basta playing games ang kailangan mong gawin doon. So there are a lot of different opportunities inside of the gaming industry.
So, hi, this is Gwen from Indie Fiesta. I'm 27 years old. I'm currently the director for Indie Fiesta, which is a collaboration or like a celebration of independent games made both locally and internationally. And we normally have an exhibit at one of the biggest Southeast Asian conventions, which is Esports and Gaming Festival, or ESGS. I have a book coming out, which was written by Megan Marie. And it's called Women in Games, 100 women / professionals of play. And generally it features both prominent and unsung heroes who contribute to the game development industry. So hi, this is Gwen from Indie Fiesta, and this is my perspective.
Yo, what's up guys? My name is Glocko. So my real name is Gian Lois Concepcion. Okay, that's where the Glocko came from. I kinda made a deal with myself that I wanted to become a YouTuber just for a year, just to try it out. That's all. It's my way of just recuperating from everything that I've spent for the past 4 months of college. Luckily, I was able to build up my channel into a more lucrative way of earning income. I'm just glad I'm not working as a nurse right now. I'm just playing games, so I think that's the best part for me. Alright, so once again, I am Gian or Glocko Gaming, and that was my perspective. Yo, what's up guys? My name is Glocko. So my real name is Gian Lois Concepcion. Okay, that's where the Glocko came from. My current age is 24, turning 25 this November, and I graduated as a nursing graduate from the University of Santo Tomas.
So,
That's 2014. Okay. So right after graduating sa university, I kinda made a deal with myself that I wanted to become a YouTuber. Just for a year, just to try it out. That's all. It's my way of just recuperating from everything that I've spent for the past 4 months of college. And then, but I realized that I wanted to be independent. I didn't want to burden my family with my selfish dream. So I decided to work an online job as an online English teacher for Japanese students. So that's where I got most of my income for my first 2 years, I think, or 1.5 year. There you go, 1.5 year. And then luckily I was able to build up my channel into a more lucrative way of earning income. And feeling of I don't know. Up till now, I'm still not used to getting mobbed or getting approached by people for pictures during conventions. But let's say, for example, I'm just here in my studio. I just feel like myself, the typical otaku guy, just making videos. That's it. And then I just answer to questions. However, I think it's been, there's a certain feeling of pressure because it's more of like a self-pressuring thing where you set expectations nor not or imaginative expectations from people, so you pressure yourself into making more stuff. And also there's a sense of convenience as well, because sometimes when you need information, just post something on Facebook and then there's a lot of sources who will answer right away. So that was very convenient for me. And then it just feels good, actually, like just being acknowledged by people and receiving heartfelt messages from random people as well. So that feels good. Other than that, I'm just glad I'm not working as a nurse right now. I'm just playing games, so I think that's the best part for me. Yeah, that's it. That's it. To be honest, I think there is no celebrity life. It's more of like when I like what I said. When I'm here, I'm just playing games and then just watching anime and stuff. But of course, I have to make videos, so I always allot some time to produce something and then edit something. Sometimes I brainstorm as well, but most of the time I'm just live streaming. Sometimes I'm sleeping. I actually consider myself as the most lazy YouTube creator right now in the Philippines. I'm so if you're one of the people who work here with me, you'll know just how lazy I am. That's why I already hired editors, so I can be more lazy. So that's it. And then what else? Yeah, it's pretty much it. So yeah, I'm just very lazy. And if off camera, or I think you guys have seen it in the cameras before, my work environment, very lazy work environment. It's just so chill. Like it just imagine friends just doing stuff. That's it. That's how it is. It's very casual. Not a lot of professionalism involved. Just more casual stuff. And then my work desk, probably the messiest thing I mean, if I'm looking at my messy desk right now, malinis na yan. All right, that's already clean for my standards. So imagine if I left it more in a chaotic way. I don't know how it would look like. So yeah, that's it. Working with friends. Okay. Most of the time, I think if you were taught in a more business perspective or in a more professional way, I think most professionals would say, do not make a company with your friends, because business-wise, it might not work out properly. I'm not saying everything, but I mean, for me, in my opinion, working with friends is kind of easy in my context with making videos and stuff, because I don't have to be strict. I don't have to stress myself out when telling them things to do, and most of the time you'll get a more honest opinion with them, and for me it's just easier to work with in the long run. But in terms of getting things done, there are certain problems. Sometimes procrastinating can't be helped. Sometimes personal issues with their own lives can't be helped. So I don't have to bother them when they're having their own problems. And what else? I don't know. Just imagine like having dorm mates, and then you have your own thing to do, and they have their own thing to do. So sometimes that clashes. So yeah, that's the type of work environment I have. Okay, so typical Filipino toxic culture when they find out that you're doing something that they don't understand or away from the conventional things, they were very against it. Like very, very against it. So they will even they would constant during my first few years, they would constantly nag me to come back to the medical field. They will, and of course the usual like, hindi naman totoong trabaho yan eh. Wala namang mararating yan eh. Ganyan. Wala namang kwenta yan eh. Go find a real job, something like it. Typical, like seriously, I heard those exact words. And then, but then, once na nakita nila, nag-ano na sila, successful ka na, or you're doing something for yourself, they're gonna say, oh, we're so proud of you, and stuff like that. Parang, wala nangyari. So, but I don't really mind it. You know, I mean, if you're met with such comments, the best thing you can do is just work your hardest in order to prove something to them and show results. I mean, for conventional Filipino families, that's all they want. They want you to be successful, but for sure they won't approve of your unconventional or unorthodox way of pursuing a career. But once you show results, then they're good. That's it. So, yeah, kind of like what you guys are doing. Like, you guys are trying to break the stigma of how games right now are being looked down upon by the Filipino society. So, yeah, me and my fellow influencers are doing our best to show everyone that you can pretty much do whatever you want and become successful with it. So, if you become lucky and work your hardest. So, actually, nung bata ako, I was raised in a family that kind of supported video games as a recreational activity. Okay, my father was a gamer, my uncles were a gamer, my mother was an addict for the Game Boy. So, but the only problem or the negative stigma right now that I know of is making video games as a career. But I think the typical stigma for the masses here in the Philippines is that when you play too much video games, it's gonna ruin your life, or it's gonna ruin your grades, it's gonna go against your schooling, your academic life, and stuff like that. So it's a very, very conventional way of thinking. Like I think it's a typical scenario where kaka-computer mo yan, ganyan, aral ka naman, ganun. But I think it just it's just coming from the old generation of Filipinos. Nowadays, I think I've observed that there's a lot more Filipinos who are supportive of gaming in general. I've seen a lot of new generation families and parents who are supportive of the gaming scene, even teaching their kids about gaming in a younger age. So I'm glad that slowly but surely during the past years, gaming has been making good rounds here in the Philippines. So esports scenes, it's growing. Dota 2 is growing. New games are popping up. Mobile games are becoming the thing of the future now. So yeah, it's a good era for gaming now. So it's just a few more people that needs to know about the glory of gaming. So yeah. Okay, so just to be real, like I'm not gonna say anything like a Bible verse or something awe-inspiring quotes or something like that. I have to be real with you guys. Here in the gaming industry, in my case, in streaming, there's a certain amount of luck involved. Because like if it was that easy to do things, or if you think that hard work is one of the key components here, you're right. Hard work is a key component. However, there's a lot of luck involved as well. Because I've seen a lot of hardworking people trying to be streamers, trying to go through the gaming scene. However, they're met with some obstacles, and at that point, they just stop there. So if there's one good advice I want you guys to consider in order for you guys to actually make it. You got to be unique in some way. You have to dish out something more interesting. Dish out something that's way out of your scene. Try to go out of the box, because that's the only chance you'll get in order to differentiate yourself with the countless of people in the scene. So if we're talking about growing your audience and making it big, you really have to consider some parts of it as a competition. Okay, you have to outperform some of your peers, but it's more of like a friendly competition. All right, you just have to think of something new, something fresh. Fresh ideas is what people are looking for right now, not the same thing all over again, because it's just consider it like some kind of cuisine. Sometimes when you take in a certain amount of cuisine for the over and over again, you're just gonna get sick of it. So you look for another thing. So yeah, you have to really find something that find your niche. There you go, find your niche. And other than that, just to quote one of my friends, he told me this that still sticks to me. Let's say, for example, you have the best game, you've made the best channel, you've made the best content, but it won't mean anything if you don't do your job in letting people know about it. Okay, so people won't know that it exists if you don't market it properly, something like that. Now for that's for the streaming scene. Now for game development, not really sure about it, but in my opinion, as a video gamer, I've come across a lot of indie games. I've come across a couple of proposals to review indie games, and sadly, most of them didn't really put up something that was interesting. I've seen recycled stuff. I've seen overused concepts. I've seen just very mediocre and cliche plot lines. So for the future game developers out there, you guys should try and like in the context of streaming, do something unique. Try something like if you think that you've already brainstormed enough, I'm pretty sure you haven't yet. You haven't really touched the deeper levels of brainstorming yet. Once you touch the deeper levels of brainstorming, that's where you'll come up with one of the best and unique concept that you might see. So yeah, I'm looking forward for those. All right, so once again, I am Gian or Gloco Gaming, and that was my perspective.